Are you planning to cancel the American Express Platinum card? Or are you thinking if you should still get it? Because there's been some massive changes done to the card. 5 big new perks and an annual fee increase from $550 up to $695, which puts this card at one of, if not the most expensive credit card out there that doesn't require an invite. So in this video, we'll be going over all the changes you need to know, which American Express values at over $900 in additional benefits, as well as my thoughts and plans going forward and whether or not I'll be keeping the card. Hey, I'm Kevin, and on this channel, we talk strategies to help you along on your financial journey. If you want to maximize the value you're getting from your credit cards, let me know by smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's jump right into it. In case you don't know about all the perks that the American Express Platinum card comes with, check out my video that I did on that topic up in the top right corner and down in the description, but we'll go over some of those briefly here. In terms of points, you're still getting the 5 times points back on flights and hotels booked through American Express Travel, with 1% back on everything else. You're still getting the $200 Uber credit every year to use, which also works on Uber Eats, $200 in airline incidental credit, which lets you put credit towards things like checked bags or buying in-flight refreshments and food. Then there's still the global entry and TSA pre-check that will go well hand in hand with one of the new perks that we'll talk about in a bit, the $100 a year in Saks Fifth Avenue credit, and of course you're still getting status at hotel chains like Marriott and Hilton, as well as car rental companies, and you're still getting your access to Centurion lounges as well as Priority Pass lounges across airports around the world. All that, and you're still getting things like your warranties, cell phone protections, travel protections, and other perks on the card. In fact, right now, there's an offer going on where you can get 100,000 points as a sign-up bonus, along with 10 times points back on restaurants and shop small locations, up to $25,000 in spend in your first 6 months. There have been reports of people getting 125 or even 150,000 points just for signing up. So if you're lucky, you could be getting 150,000 points as well as up to 250,000 points for maxing out the benefit, where you get 10x points back by using at restaurants or at Shop Small location. For those of you who aren't aware, Shop Small is an American Express program for small businesses across the country. You can search for these online or find these Shop Small stickers in stores around you to know if these stores qualify. On the downside, if you're signing up for the card now, so anytime past the change happening on July 1st, 2021, then you're already paying $695 for the card, a $145 increase over the old $550. On the bright side, if you already have the card and your renewal date is sometime in 2021, then you'll still be renewing at $550. That's amazing, because then you're getting another year with the card with these new benefits, but still paying the old $550. And remember, these points can be redeemed at a minimum of 0.6 cents a point if you're doing it against statement credit, or maybe 1 cent a point for other basic perks. However, if you're like me and you are planning to use these points for travel, then you could be redeeming these points at a value of 5 to even 10 cents a point. That's why I like to value my points at about 2 cents a point to be a bit conservative. Alright, so now that you know the basics of the card, what are the new big benefits that American Express has added to the card? Well, the first of these benefits is a $200 credit to hotel bookings through the Fine Hotel and Resorts program or the Hotel Collection. I think this is the most tangible benefit, because if you're gonna be traveling at least once a year anyways and need a hotel, you could likely just book through these programs, because the prices are more or less kind of on par with what you'd be getting if you were booking on other sites. But on top of that, you're getting things like room upgrades when available, daily breakfast for 2, late checkout, and at least $100 credit for things like spa, food, and drinks. For example, if we take a look at a weekend in September, the Park Vancouver hotel's price on American Express is only slightly higher at about $30 more than what you would get on another site. But when you take into account things like late checkout, breakfast, and $100 credit, then you're getting a lot more value for just that $30 more in price. Personally, I think that in a regular year where you can travel you'll probably book a hotel sometime in the year and use this credit. With that said, that means the $200 credit more than offsets the $145 increase in the annual fee, which is good news. But unfortunately, this is the best perk that they're adding in my opinion, and it only goes downhill from here. Alright, so the next perk that they've added is a $179 credit towards Clear membership. This is a program that lets you use your biometrics, like your fingerprints or scanning your face, to fast track through parts of the line at the airport. Basically, if you already have TSA PreCheck, which is a benefit of the card already, then you can basically use Clear to fast track through step 1 of the line, bypassing the TSA agent, then going to the TSA PreCheck screening in step 2, where you don't need to remove your shoes, take your liquids, or taking out your iPads and laptops. Given that nowadays with so many people having TSA PreCheck, the line in step 1 could get quite long. So having this Clear membership really cuts down on the time you need to spend in a line, giving you more time to get through security and going to one of the thousands of lounges that you have access through because of this card throughout the world. Personally, I don't know how often I'll need this because I don't really need to travel for work, but I can see this being really useful of a perk for people who travel a lot. So now we talk about a perk that most people probably won't find value in, which is $300 or $25 a month to Equinox gyms. At first that sounds amazing, like dang, $300 to a nice gym. But if you take a look at the website and you're like me and you're not able to find anywhere obvious listing the prices on this site, then you know it's not going to be good. With some digging, it seems like an Equinox membership can be as low as $185 a month and up to $500 a month for the top experience. With those prices in mind, $25 a month is not really that much. What's worse is that most of these gyms are in New York City. So if you're not in New York City, you're probably out of luck in finding a gym near you, even if you did want to go. Not saying that I'd go, but searching up my city doesn't come up with any locations near me. So because of that, I'm valuing this at basically nothing. I mean, if you're living in New York City and going to an Equinox gym already, then this is amazing because you're, getting some money back. But for most people, I don't think this will come into use. But I think American Express knows that most people won't use this perk, and they're fine with that because they're probably not the one footing the bill for this credit. And it's more likely that Equinox is trying to advertise to the American Express user base, especially because the American Express Platinum card user base is so valuable. I don't know how credible this is because the article is gone now, but there was a report saying that the average household income of an American Express Platinum card holder was over $700,000. I can assure you that I'm nowhere near that. Alright, so the last perk that you're getting with this refresh is $240 a year towards digital entertainment. Similar to the other credits, this sounds a lot better than it actually is. They claim digital entertainment, but it's only limited to Audible, the New York Times, SiriusXM, and Peacock. Really, American Express? That's the most selective handful of services. No Spotify, no Netflix, no YouTube. A lot of people probably aren't gonna get too much value out of this, but again, this could be the icing on top of the cake where the hotel $200 credit already covers the increase in annual fee. For me personally, with so many free news sources out there, I probably won't be using the New York Times subscription. And I also don't really listen to audiobooks, so Audible is probably out of the question. And when I'm in the car or something, I'm streaming my own music on Spotify, so SiriusXM isn't that useful for me either. The only perk that I might use is I'll probably sign up for a Peacock subscription because they're only $10 a month to get live TV, some shows, and sports. Again, it's really likely that these are the companies that are footing the bill to offer these perks to the American Express user base, but I really hope that American Express will work with more companies and hopefully onboard more of these companies onto this list. With that said, what are my thoughts? Well, first off, these perks are definitely not worth over $900. I mean, the $200 hotel credit is probably going to be the most used, followed by the $179 of the Clear credit, and then maybe the $240 digital credit, and probably the least used is going to be the Equinox credit. So will I be keeping the card? Very likely. That's because that yes, there's a $145 increase in the annual fee. I think that I'll be able to use the $200 hotel credit that we're getting every single year. That plus my renewal date is in 2021. So I'll be getting another whole year worth of all these perks while still only paying $550. Then when that time comes, if I really don't feel like I'm getting enough value of this card, I can bring this up to American Express and maybe see if we can work out some retention plan or something to stay with the card. For anyone looking to potentially get this card right now, do check, because if you're able to get 125 or even 150,000 points, as well as a 10x on restaurants and shop small perk, that's an amazing offer to capitalize on. Valuing these points at about 2 cents a point, that's a value of up to $3,000, which will more than cover your annual fee for a few years. Overall, I think this is a pretty neutral change, maybe slightly positive if you're one that travels a lot and can use the credits like the hotel credit and the clear credit. Anyways, if you're looking for more details on this card, as well as how I value all the perks of this card, check out the video I made on that topic down below. Or if you want more credit card content, check out my videos where I review the Chase Sapphire Preferred as well as the Freedom Flex up in the top right corner and down in the description as well. And with that, as always, invest safe, spend safe, and see you in the next one.